Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We're here with another Alliance War video. This is going to be Alliance War Season 58, number 9, and AOH has matched up against PBT. Now these guys are very good and they normally end up in top 10 of Masters, so we know that we need to play well, but coming off of our best war of the season, last war, getting only 3 deaths, we know that we're capable of it. And unfortunately today, I am back on this fight. Node number 4, Onslaught. And we're doing it with Shocker again, even though I know it's bugged, because last time I didn't time out, and this time I wanted to come into the fight with a little bit of a different strategy. It turns out that strategy is not going to work, so I end up having to change my plan. There, I somehow parried the last hit of a special one, so my willpower is gone for the rest of the fight, so that's just wonderful. But basically, what I wanted to do in this fight is I wanted to focus on my combo and less on getting tons of damage from my heavies, because the way that this fight goes wrong usually with Shocker, well, obviously there's the bug where you don't deal any extra damage from force charges on heavies, but there's also that Onslaught loves to hold his special one. He loves to never throw a special one, so that is why we have the OG Spidey synergy, which makes the opponent more likely, basically they're invisibly taunted whenever you have more than 50 of your shock charges, or your vibro charges, or whatever they're called. And here we go for a heavy, and it actually does some decent damage. So I'm like, okay, you know what, that's not bad. At this point, we are on pace to time out. However, we are going to go for a 100 charge special in this fight, and I just want to show you what happens. I think this one, yeah, we go for a small heavy, and at the beginning here, the reason I'm going for these small heavies is because I'm trying to end my heavy while still giving the opponent, while still making sure that I have over 50 charges so that the opponent throws their specials instantly. And that's the basic strategy here. Here, unfortunately, we get caught in a dash back because I was waiting for him to throw the special one. Here, we end up having to push him to a special 2, but I have been practicing the decks recently, so while I did block the first hit, we were fine after that. Take a little bit of power sink damage, but the reason I slow it down here is because for some reason the charges decided to mysteriously work this one time, and this heavy attack does almost 4 mil damage. I don't know why, and I also want to point out that even though it did 4 mil damage, it is still bugged, because it is supposed to be doing way more than that. It's at least more than it was before. So here I think we are going to beta heavy, going for a combo, throw my special 2. Oh no, we actually go for a striker to remove the power sink before we throw the special 2. That's probably a good idea. And then it looks like he is going to die from the special 2. So yeah, last time we timed out with, we almost timed out. We finished the fight with 5 seconds left. We improved on that slightly. This time we had 13 seconds left or something like that. But now we are here with my alt account, and we're going to be taking node 3 Attuma, so this is the regen node, and I've seen this fight done with both Warlock and Sentinel, and actually in war number 12, which at this point has already ended because I'm very late on these videos, I did take it with Warlock, and I can say Warlock is the better counter of the two. So I didn't know that at the time. I'd only seen someone take it, but I had not seen a video. I saw one of our opponents take it one war, and they ended with like 85% health, and I was really surprised because I thought you would take more thorns damage than that, but you actually don't. But yeah, here the plan is basically throw special 1 to keep our heal block up, and then throw special 2 for damage. But we are of course going to be starting out the fight by just hitting into the block a bunch, and there's a few reasons for this. Obviously you build up your charges, so you have the special refund, but then you also, with Sentinel's buff, he also reduces the amount of physical burst damage that you take from sources such as thorns. So for example, at the start of the fight, whenever we were taking thorns, it was ticking for like 1300 damage, but after we get to our max charges, it's ticking for about half that. So it actually is, like right there, it ticked for 650, so quite literally half of it. So it's a pretty significant difference here. I think we're going to go for another special one. I don't remember if I ran recoils. Okay, I didn't. That's the right call. You're not supposed to run recoils in this matchup. You're only supposed to do it in matchups where you would be in a genuine risk of timing out. One thing I do need to say about this matchup specifically is that due to Attuma's Purify, you are not going to be able to run the synergy which allows your heal blocks to be longer. You do have to run wags, but it's not that big of a deal because even at this pace, well, I mean, technically at this point we're on pace to time out, but with the way that the force charges work, that's not exactly the case. So we are going to attempt to push Attuma to the special 2 as much as we can, just because it's less of a hassle to bait out, and you can counter it with a heavy attack a lot easier than the special 1. Not that you can't do it with the special 1, but we're gonna be wanting to alternate between special 1 and special 2 in this fight, and the special refund makes that really easy because you can just throw them back to back, basically, like right here, to keep up that heal block. And then there's not really much else to this fight. It's a pretty straightforward fight. It's a good matchup. Sentinel's very good for it. Like I said, I am going to get to use Warlock for it in the future, and I do believe he is the superior counter. However, at this point, I did not know that, so that's why we're using Sentinel. Throw another special 1, just going to keep getting our charges up, trying to bait specials out. The main reason that I think Warlock is a lot better is because you don't have to bait a single special. And Attuma getting special attacks and throwing them and going unstoppable is, if not the single most annoying part of the fight, definitely one of them. Because obviously there is the damage you take back from thorns, but yeah. So here with 2 minutes left, he is down to 8%, and I think we're just going to combo. I don't even know if we get back to an L2. I'm pretty sure we're just going to finish it with combo hits. Yeah, there he throws the L2 into my block when I was trying to finish him off, but there we go. 2 minutes left, not even close to timing out. I believe that was a rank 3 Attuma, but even a rank 4 would have only been another 45 seconds probably. So that was it from me. I did do both of my fights. And now we get to the results. So I'll show the score right now. Unfortunately, we lost this by less than 1 death, because we lost with a score of 4-5, and we had better time than them, which means if they died or timed out even one more time, we would have gotten the win. So it just sucks. You know, we played really well, and against some alliances, 5 deaths, is just not going to be enough. Against most Masters alliances, it will be. It will be enough. Today it was not enough, unfortunately, and we do take the loss, but GG's to PBT. They definitely deserve the win. And we are now 4-5 on the season. I have 0 deaths still on either account. My attack bonus is at 179 out of 180, or 99.4444%. My main is at 90 out of 90, and my ult is at 89 out of 90 because I did have that timeout in like war 4 or 5. I don't even remember which war it was. Also, my Deathless streak, I didn't really think about this at the time, but it doesn't really make sense to do a Deathless streak when you only have 1 fight per war. So what we're going to do is we're going to revert the Deathless streak back to what it was when the season started, so the end of last season, which is a 1 fight streak and a 63 fight streak on my main and a 1 fight streak on my ult, because I really feel like this kind of alliance war, it's not really alliance war, it's more like war raids. It's really something we need to track separately, so I want to keep real war stats as real war stats and not interfere with them. So we're gonna freeze the Deathless streak. I'll still put it in the description so I don't forget what it is, but it is going to resume next season when normal war comes back, and obviously I'll be making bids for that. So GG's to PBT, well-earned victory, and hopefully we can bounce back next war and have a good war. So that's going to be all from me. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you later. Bye.